Alright, what is going on, everyone? Before I start with this, first I want to preface this video by saying that I know that I usually have a lot of political ideals and whatnot that I post about either on Facebook or sometimes on YouTube or on Instagram or, X, Twitter. However, regardless of what I say or think, if we disagree on something, violence is never the answer, okay? Charlie Kirk was a man of God. He followed the Lord Jesus Christ to the best of his abilities. He was a father and a husband, father of 2 kids, and and it scares me even more because he's 31 years old. He was 31 years old. Like I'm 31. Like I didn't even realize he was the same. Like we were the same age. He stood strong on his faith, on his beliefs, on his stances on certain subjects, whether it's stuff you agree with or not. He spoke truth. He spoke truth on a lot of things. So, God rest his soul. Please keep Charlie's family in your thoughts and prayers. Sorry, it really pissed me off a lot. Like we are the country that we are in right now is no longer the United States of America. No, he was too effective. He was too good. He was like he spoke the truth. That's just it, plain and simple. He spoke the truth. Like, and he was waking people up, and like it's some bullshit. But so this this is for Charlie. We love you, man. God rest your soul. Charlie, your wife, your kids, I pray for you guys. I will continue to pray for you guys that no weapon formed against any of you prosper, and that no accident or nightmare or anything befalls or haunts you. Sorry, I'm still getting my setup set up right now. Trying to get all this set for the video because for today's video we are going to be reacting to Black Ops 3 Zombies and its consequences, but I just wanted to get that out of the way, y'all. So please send thoughts and prayers to Charlie's family, his wife and his daughters and the rest of his family. Charlie, you are loved. We will miss you. God rest your soul. I know there was a lot of stuff that he and I didn't agree on, especially in stances of Israel, but, that doesn't mean that I hated the guy. It's just we just had different opinions, and that's it. But a lot of his stuff, I still followed it, and I still loved it. So, all right. Let's go ahead, and, yeah, I have to use this to get some better lighting, because, I only got one bulb in there that works, so... Alright, and I think it's good. Yeah, so I got 4 of those things in there. And that is up there. And this, like I said, we're still getting things set up. So, Charlie, this is for you. Here's one for the homie. So, let's go ahead and get this. So, to the memory of Charlie Kirk, to his family and friends, to Salud Chantani. Oh. Shit. It really does taste like water. Alright, let's get this show on the road.
This video. This started out as more like a structured video like I normally kind of do my videos, but the more I was editing, the more I felt I really needed to give my opinion on some things going around in this community and do my part. It'll get a bit ranty here and there, but I truly believe that that's for the better. My content won't solely look like this, so don't expect it for every video. I'm trying to enjoy myself and not focus on the drama all the time, but I do feel like I need to let out some steam. Also, thank you, No Name Here. This video has given me some inspiration to make this video. You had the balls to come out with this video, so I'd like to do my part.
Strap in, guys. This is going to be a long one.
Okay.
Okay. Let's
Monty.
bit, shall we?
We shall.
This was meant to be a new start, really. A perfect world. Free from all the evil that had corrupted each and every corner of the known and unknown universe. It was going to be a place of safety for the kids, the little yous. You little... Well, so far, so good.
See, the funny thing is, ads. It's always at the wrong time, too.
We know the daily grind can be tough.
Well, the funny thing is,
but
every single time I hear those war raid sirens, the first thing I think of is Indestructible
we
by
believe it's the
Disturbed.
little wins
That's
that
the first
deserve
time I
some
actually
big
heard
moments of
those
joy.
sirens,
Scooters.
But things started to go wrong soon after you arrived.
Being in the Call of Duty Zombies community is nothing short of an absolute roller coaster of emotions when looking at different opinions of the game and its iterations, especially if you're seeing yourself interact with it more as a newer player, starting from, I would say, anywhere from BO4 and now. Being around this community, it feels like you really can't escape what almost seems like such a circle jerk about Black Ops 3. And why is Black Ops 3 so good? Why there will never be a game like Black Ops 3. Oh, I'm not playing modern Call of Duty. I'm sticking with Black Ops 3. Now, stop right there. Hear my whole opinion.
Hey, I got PTSD from that fucking sound.
I see you holding that finger right there. When I sit here and tell you that I would be one of the first people in line on a Black Ops 3 suck-off, just straight going to town.
We go from serious to laughter, all right? In a time like this,
let me tell you, I love Black Ops 3 with all my heart, but being around this community as a newer player, it's probably just really fucking annoying sometimes when you hear that the game you started on absolutely sucks compared to Black Ops 3. Like, it's almost like crack how much people talk about this game. Look, I'm a classic Zombies player, okay? Y'all want some credentials? I'm from Black Ops 1, all right? I'm from Kino and 5. Guys, when I sit here and tell you that I endured so much
I was about to pause that too.
Scrolling through my old Facebook page just to find this very specific post to prove to you guys that I am in fact from Black Ops 1.
Hey, listen. Leave the muffin button alone, all right? Leave muffin button alone. We leave TFS Dragon Ball Z Abridged alone. They're fine. Where did I get this muffin?
I'm sitting here and talk about Tobuscus, guys. Come on. So don't get me fucked up and twist my opinion when I talk about this game, because I was there during this whole saga. You may have seen this video right here. And while I don't necessarily agree with some of the sentiments I proposed in that video about newer zombies anymore, because I've had the time to play BO6 and see the community's reception of it as well as Cold War, I still would say it represents well how I feel about the older zombies pretty well, and still represents how I feel about the community and how we should treat them with open arms. Yep. And just like a ton of you on here watching this video right now, at the end of Black Ops 3's life cycle, I stopped for a while. After Zombies Chronicles, I found myself playing other games, not interacting with Call of Duty for a while. And I'm talking a while. I played Overwatch, Apex, and other games until Vanguard came out. And that game made me want to go back and try Cold War. And I enjoyed it to a degree. I'm enjoying Black Ops 6 a whole lot more. But back to the topic at hand. Black Ops 3. On top of other games being the reason why I didn't keep up with zombies for a bit, why was Black Ops 3 the end-all, be-all for COD Zombies for me for a while? And
so real quick,
for a lot of you guys as well. Why?
So I'm gonna do just the surface level stuff as to why it cannot be compared to. So like we spent years trying to get like everything done well and whatnot. You know how like World at War set the standard for how good a Call of Duty game is supposed to be. Like, I mean, they set that standard. Same thing happened when Black Ops came around. Black Ops 1 came around for a video game in storytelling and in zombies. They set the standards for how a game should be. And gameplay mechanics and weapons and whatnot and whatever. Even though BO1 has some of the worst weapons, but not all of the worst weapons. BO2 kind of changed that a little bit. There were some things that definitely changed in terms of storyline. We kind of got like a shit can for BO2, but BO3, everything changed. Like all the gameplay mechanics, the stories, like everything that was like, it had a good campaign, but everything that was really, really important got centered to the Black Ops Zombies, the Black Ops Zombies storyline. What we were supposed to get in BO2 was a certain mode of zombies. We ended up getting certain things that we were supposed to have in BO2 into BO3, like full storyline campaign cutscenes, like, you know, like Easter eggs that you can, like, you know, that are intricate and, you know, aren't irritating. I mean, like, at this point, like, you know, by the time of BO3 rolling around, Easter eggs were basically just collection quests, like, if you really think about it. But BO3, like, in gameplay mechanics, the weapons, the camos, like, you know, the storyline for the zombies, the maps, the Easter eggs, dude, the Easter eggs themselves, even, like, the rewards from the Easter eggs, you know, the multiplayer, and then there's the other, like, zombie mode where you're not, like, it's not in this, but it's, like, its own story mode, like, its own zombie story mode, like that, they had that there. Like, there were so many things that were revolutionized through Black Ops 3, and I can go into detail about it, but that's, like, the surface level stuff.
Why do I think, in all honesty, Black Ops 3 was way too good? And I'm talking, like, suspiciously good, especially when talking about the modern landscape of Call of Duty and Activision business practices.
Exactly.
And why I think that this game had some serious consequences
and
has done some
Gobblegums too.
Serious irreparable damage to this community in the modern zombies setting. This your boy Clam Rally, and welcome to the freaking channel.
Death by Snoo Snoo. What do we got?
So, I'm going to be absolutely truthful with you. Things have got way too far out of control. This isn't any vague woo evil.
If you are a newer player to the zombies community, watching this video right now, first off, I want to say I am so sorry. I genuinely am sorry that you're here in a community of people.
It's my connection.
Who seem like boomers who just love to talk about the good old days all of the time. I genuinely hope you get a game to feel that strongly about in zombies. And
might be my
I
connection.
honestly think that Black Ops 6 is a great contender for that, but we'll have to see. In the history of this community, you tend to hear BO3 being held as the greatest zombies experience we could ever have.
Yep.
And in my personal opinion, like a lot of people, I tend to agree with that statement mostly. However, sometimes I tend to forget.
Greatest launch map of all time is Shadows of Evil.
Forget that
Kino
people
comes second.
don't go back to play Black Ops 3.
Actually, that's not true, because I still do. A lot of people still do. Shadows of Evil, greatest launch map of all time. 5, second greatest launch map of all time. You might be thinking, oh, Rob, well, what about Kino? Kino was the launch map for it. No, Kino was actually supposed to be a 5th DLC for World at War. It was supposed to be a 5th DLC map for World at War. That's why it looks very World at War-esque when you go on it. But when you go to 5, it looks more like everything on Black Ops 1. Like, it's more set for the tone of the game. Like, 5 was originally supposed to be the launch map. But people just said, fuck it, you know, let's just, you know, Treyarch unlock all this, and then, like, boom, Kino. Like, no. No, you got to play through the full campaign to unlock zombies. That's the OG experience of getting zombies mode. Transit, it's not good. It's laughably bad. Like, it's like, you can, like, it's bad in the sense that, like, maybe if you're playing it solo, it's like absolute dog shit, unless you're playing like town or, you know, like any of the individual maps. But it's also like fun to play with friends. Like, it's laughably bad to play in general. Like it's bad to play in general. Like, it sucks, but it's also kind of fun when you have 4 people to play along with and to do the Easter egg and whatnot. We can't, and honorable mention I would have put it in the number 1 spot, but honorable mention, you know what, I'm going to put this in the honorable mention spot, because, like, this map, Nocturne Toten, bare bones as it gets. It is bare bones as it gets. Like, you are at your absolute worst in zombies, and thankfully there's a 24 zombie per round cap, and the zombies sound a lot more horrifying in Noct. But yeah, so sorry, continue the video. Oh,
3.
shit.
Some of you probably did, but with Call of Duty being the way that it is on a yearly basis, you're always being fed new content every year, so it makes sense that not a lot of you went back to play those older games. So I feel there really is a need in this community to bridge that gap. And that's what I really want to bring to the table for this community. And I'm going to start with answering this question, but very briefly. You hardly need me to answer this question because there are a million other videos talking about why this game is so good. But to put it plainly and as an abridged version, the answer to the question, why is Black Ops 3 so good, is because they innovated, they got creative, they told us an interesting and easy to understand story. On the surface, they mainly kept old systems from World at War and innovated on them into this game, and there seemed to have been a ton of community engagement around that time, especially for Black Ops 3 Zombies. We really were engaged with the characters that were given to us, that were kind of revamped characters that we saw as younger kids playing BO1 and World at War, of course. It was really, truly a time to be alive, I'll say. And they were able to innovate on a lot of what happened in World at War and Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2. But the thing is, you can only go but so far with the game and its mechanics on an old engine that at some point you really just need to reset and start something new.
Yep.
And after Black Ops 4, the Dark Ether Saga was that thing to reset it. Granted, I think the Cold War zombie storyline is a bit of a snooze fest and doesn't hold a candle to what the old Ether storyline had to offer, at least not yet for me personally.
I agree, unfortunately.
But I can almost guarantee you that if we went back to a game like Black Ops 3 in the modern era, it just would not work. And I would point directly, and I'm talking straight, at Black Ops 4. I mean, just look at how long they tried to drag out Black Ops 4, and a lot of people just hated that. They tried to tell two different stories, and it really was unfortunate what happened with it because they couldn't focus on finishing the Ether story. They had to start this Chaos story. So at some point they needed to just tie everything up, and that's what Black Ops 4 did. Now, don't get me wrong. Looking back on Black Ops 4's ending, because I didn't play it when it originally came out, I do understand why people like this ending. But me personally, I'm very torn on it. But I don't want to get into that right now. That's for another video. But trust me, we'll get to these leaks
I can
later
understand
on.
why. Oh yeah, the
Wawa's
premise
new
return. But
spicy
this time it's a
jalapeno
different
ranch.
premise crew. It's not the same premise crew
Creamy,
that we got
craveable, and kicking up
in
the
the
flavor to
OG
your favorite
Black Ops
hoagies,
Zombie
wraps,
storyline. Like
sandwiches,
this
and
is a different premise crew that we get to see.
But something I will give Black Ops 4 compared to Black Ops 3 is that, yes, it was a sequel, but the game felt different. If we now went back to that old system, people would be shouting and crying that the game feels the same and there's no innovation. And look no further than the literal game series that this game mode resides in to prove that. Infinity Ward tried keeping the same formula back in the day between Modern Warfare 2 through COD Ghosts, and look what that did. People hated it because it didn't change enough. Why the hell do you think we have the jetpack era of Call of Duty anyways?
Oh, the Halo era of Call of
as
Duty.
much. The games arguably looked the same.
always
but if you
call that
look
shit.
at zombies, each game is distinguishable from one another for the most part. And even of the jetpack Call of Duty eras, people still fucking hated it because it changed what they asked them to change. But look which one people accepted the most. Black Ops 3. What makes that the one people turn to? Well, I honestly think it's because of everything put together, and it kind of being the culmination of everything that happened prior to it. It was such a huge climax with these characters that we've loved because we knew them when we were kids and we wanted to see what happened to them because we feel connected with them, and we were so nostalgically charged, mixed with some non-nostalgic good gameplay that they just delivered on. They simply delivered on that. Now let's get back to Black Ops 4. People didn't like that whole game for a multitude of reasons. It seemed like their focus wasn't on one thing, it was on too many things, and then they tried to wrap up the big story, but it seemed like it was a little bit too rushed, at least in my opinion. which is why I believe Black Ops 3 is that line that people draw. That's where people draw that line, because after Black Ops 3, it almost seems like the story shit the bed, at least for a lot of people. So when they kind of dropped the ball a bit with Black Ops 4 and Vanguard, people lost hope. Black Ops Cold War seemed to kind of siphon some of that player base, but the damage was already done. Black Ops 3 was the peak of what made zombies good. But I'm missing out on one tiny little thing.
I'm interested in seeing
something
this.
called, oh yeah, Zombies Chronicles. The final thing to bring Black Ops 3 from an A tier to an absolute god tier experience. And then there's Custom Zombies 2, but that is a separate video, because that is how good Custom Zombies is. But I'm not going to talk about it much in this video. Just know it's really good. And yet another reason as to why people like Black Ops 3. But anyways, but what if I told you that Zombies Chronicles had nothing more than a small chance that just happened to work? Let me break it down for you real quick, because this part's very important. If Call of Duty 2016 Infinite Warfare didn't flop so bad, there would not be Zombies Chronicles today. I firmly believe that. Let me be clear.
Probably.
This is my own speculation, by the way, but it seems to add up so well.
I wouldn't actually be surprised if that was the case.
This isn't based off of anything, you know. What I really think happened is that, and look, if this is obvious and you're just like, oh, this is so obvious, Cam, shut up. Just whatever.
Oh man, we are just in the.
I just kind of put this together in my head. What I think happened is that BO3 was seeing massive success with its zombies, and that instance, mixed with the reception of COD 2016 being bad, opened up this metaphorical room with nothing in it. You know what would have been there had Infinite Warfare been successful? A boatload of cash. I believe that Activision really needed something to fill that room with, and what better way to do that than to speak to our nostalgia? Zombies Chronicles. And it shows how much Activision knows what nostalgia can do for us and for them. It really was the perfect business decision, because they aren't just some corporation making decisions off of nothing, right? They do their research. They probably watched all the videos, all the community videos back in the day and right now to get an idea of the average age the player is in the community, to then make decisions based off of that. They probably saw that most of us who started on World at War through BO1 were probably in our mid-teens to early 20s. Yeah. So they knew we would be nostalgic for these characters and these maps. People often tend to look back at the older games and say, oh, back when they cared, or back when they were passionate about the series. No, it was about the money. I truly believe that Zombies Chronicles wouldn't have happened if COD 2016 didn't give them the incentive to make this DLC. And I am utterly shocked that the people who are saying COD sucks now, Zombies lost its way, you'd think they'd be the first ones to say what I'm saying right now. To be this skeptical about Black Ops 3, you know?
See, here's the thing. I think everyone loved how... So, how do I put this? So, I truly think that Black Ops 3, the mechanics and everything that made Black Ops 3 Zombies what it was, and, well, just Black Ops 3 in general, I think it was perfect the way it is. It was perfect the way it is. Had they implemented this into the next games or the next Zombies or whatever, if they had these mechanics, graphics, like, and all this other stuff, if they kept this formula, I guarantee all of the games afterwards would have succeeded. All the games afterwards would have 100% succeeded. And they wouldn't have flopped. Like, they could have had shitty storylines, but at least, you know, the gameplay and everything and, like, whatnot would be awesome. Would have been fine. Would have been fine if they had stuck to the formula that they use and everything in the engine and all that shit that they use for Black Ops 3. 100% would have been fine. Like, you know, there would have been, like, some hits and misses. And the same thing would have happened with Cold War Zombies. Like, I get it. People want realism and stuff like that. But if you look back at this was just fun. Like, they made it to where it was fun. That's why it succeeded. Well, one of the reasons why it succeeded.
We got lucky. It's not about the passion they had back in the day versus now. They never had the passion. Or rather, they always had the passion. They never lost it. But Activision truly knows that nostalgia gets to your wallet.
Yep.
Which is exactly where we need to
I was
fast
just making
forward
sure my mic is
to
better.
right now.
I'm not going to sugarcoat things. It's a fucking shit show.
Oh boy, here we go. I'm glad that there's an ad in there just before the rant begins. That way there's no interruptions during the rant, hopefully.
Grip, stability, precision. That's the
Bread.
essence of driving. Lawfin.
Treyarch has some serious balls to change up the game as much as they have, because a lot of their player base, this community, just looks for nostalgia without even realizing it. Let me repeat that.
Excuse me.
I am not talking about the people who give constructive feedback on these newer games. I'm talking about the people who comment shit like this. Do you not see?
Oh boy, here we go. We're not brain dead and brainwashed. People are to complain when games are bad. Y'all got shitty multiplayer experience with the Cold War 2.0 zombies and are trying to, oh boy. Sorry, I don't know what classic zombies is. I just know zombies in BO6 isn't that glorified with Warzone. Oh boy. This is laughable. The new zombies is absolutely trash. There's a reason I can hop on BO3 zombies and play for hours and never have a... I feel like some of it also might be that people don't know how to figure out Easter eggs too. Because when I was playing World at War to Black Ops 1, and when I had got into Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3 a bit late, I had trouble figuring out the Easter eggs and stuff like that, and it really irritated and annoyed and pissed me the fuck off. But I did what anyone else did and pulled up a guide and learned how to do it. The no nonsense Mr. Waffle Waffles guide, yeah. And I researched that and how to do it because I wasn't up to date. I had watched gameplay of Black Ops 3 over the years, but I never played it myself until I had gotten Black Ops 3. Yes, I know, on the last gen, just before they shut down Xbox 360. But I got Black Ops 3 in 360, and then when I got Xbox Series S, I got Black Ops 3 on there. I bought it on. Well, actually, I bought it on there after I bought it on there from the Series S, but I had to rebuy it after because I thought I would get the previous gen of Black Ops 3. So I will play Black Ops 3, and it pissed me off like Shadows of Evil. I didn't know what to do or anything like that. I couldn't figure it out, and it pissed me off. So I looked up a guide, and then once I looked up a guide, and I'm like, hey, this is actually once I started learning how to do the Easter eggs, I was like, man, this is actually kind of fun. Is some of it tedious? Absolutely. But is it fun in the process? Absolutely. It just comments like these show me that they're not open-minded. They're stuck on Black Ops 3. See, I personally love Black Ops 3. It is my favorite, and Black Ops 1. Those two are my favorites. Black Ops 2 is all right in my opinion, mainly because we had to go from we had to change and shift with Jason Blundell and Jimmy Zielinski and whatnot, and there was a thing there, but I still liked all three games because they still had a place in my heart. That nostalgia still sits there, and they are my favorites because of that. And same with World at War. Those four, World at War, Black Ops 2, and Black Ops 3 will always be my favorites. But if I still haven't played any other zombies yet. I've played a little bit of Cold War Zombies. I played the zombies in Spaceland, which I can't remember which game that was. And even though it wasn't in the main storyline, I still went into it with an open mind, and it was still fun. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I knew I wasn't going to be playing it for long, but I still had an open mind, and it was still a lot of fun. The problem is that people do not have an open mind to this kind of stuff. They don't have an open mind to when there are things that change, when they ask for the changes. Maybe the changes aren't in the way that they asked them to be in, but there were still changes that they asked for, and they still did it. Have an open mind when you're getting into something.
See that some of y'all are just getting played? Not just by Activision, but these fucking grifters who just keep playing this game, but they keep telling you that they hate it. But they keep playing the game. That's the thing. Don't you really think if these people seriously hated the game like this, they would not be constantly posting about this game? What both of these parties are after is your nostalgia, and they're both winning. These grifters are getting your attention, and Activision is getting your money. Which is exactly why I think these premise returning leaks are true, because they are literally walking dollar signs for this.
So I will touch up on this again. So premise returning is true. However, this is not the same premise that we got from the OG Black Ops Zombies storyline. The one that ended after 10 years. It's not the same premise. It is a variation of premise, but it's not the same premise. Now, this could be a version of premise from that storyline that appeared to Richtofen after the Chronorium changed. It could be the true OG premise, but as far as we know, it is not the OG premise. Now, I'm not saying that it's not going to be, but I'm just saying that's what we're told. But premise is returning because they showed it in the ending cutscene of Black Ops 6 Zombies, and I'm still happy for it because it was still a great ending. But you know, it is what it is.
You know, every old Zombies player are gonna perk their ears up and be like, oh, wait a minute, premise, I know them. Oh, let me play. You know that. Like, yeah, our lives suck now. We're adults. But don't you think that we should be wanting newer things to pique our interest instead of wanting to just default to back to who we were when we were kids?
Exactly.
Like, don't you realize that if this leak of the crew coming back is true, then that's exactly why they would be bringing them back.
Okay, one thing that I do not miss are those fucking moth bugs. But one thing I miss are the stuff they drop. So maybe it's like a 50-50. It works itself out.
Nostalgia. It's because people don't seem to want to stop shitting on modern zombies and compare it directly to Black Ops 3. And I find it really ironic that I would say mostly everybody doesn't want this, or is at least very skeptical about it. Because you'd think the original crew is the #1 thing that people would want back to make zombies feel like old zombies again. I have my own very mixed thoughts about this topic that I was going to include in this video, but I found myself becoming even more torn, so I decided to put it in another upcoming video.
I would
Sorry,
not be
that was a little bit
ballsy
of a
enough
rant,
to make
but
that joke
we
or that
should
jump.
Want this game to change. It's wonderful that this little mode that almost didn't exist is here now, alive and well, mind you. Now let me be 100% clear when I say this, with like 1 zillion%.
It's on 480 pixels.
When
Is
I
my
say
connection
this.
that bad?
If
It might
you
just be my
genuinely
laptop
don't like
because
the
I've had
changes
issues
that are
like
in
this
this
before.
game or modern zombies, then for fucking real, more power to you. You are.
All right, I'm gonna have to pause the video right here because I'm gonna have to turn off and restart my laptop first. I'm gonna end the video right here so that way I can upload this half. So I'm just gonna leave this on here, or I'm gonna actually change the thumbnail, but I'm gonna leave this as is because I'm gonna open up second tab and watch a video while this is uploading. Once it uploads, then I'll restart my computer and then we'll get everything going. Yeah, so thank you all so much for watching. If you'd like what you see, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, share with your family if you think it's appropriate, and if it's inappropriate, share with your friends on the entire internet. My name is Referee Rob Jackson. May the Lord Jesus Christ have mercy on the soul of Charlie Kirk. Charlie, we love you. We miss you, man. Again, guys, violence is not the answer. Do not martyr. Like, martyrdom is not the answer. But the fact that he was martyred, this was an assassination. The fact that he was martyred, I know he's with Jesus Christ, and I know that, you know, he repents of his sins, and he really does, like, just... I'm getting started again. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Prayers to Charlie Kirk and his family, his wife and his kids. And y'all just... This is why we need to stop this. This is why we need to stop this. Violence is never the answer. It really isn't. Now, if you have to defend yourself, yes, defend yourself. But we can't keep doing this, guys. Come on. Thank you for watching. I will catch you next time. Goodbye, everybody. Stay safe. God bless you. In the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.